You stand here before me, facing the torrent of fate. Do not be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you, for it is a gift. This storm will cut you like 1,000 razor blades. People will bleed there, and you will bleed too. Hot red blood. You'll catch that blood in your hands, your own blood and the blood of others. And once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure, in fact, whether the storm is really over. But one thing is certain. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. Remember, the sword of destiny has 2 edges. You are one of them.
Well, hello, it's me, Alek the Lost Knight, but tonight it's Keeper Alek, because we're playing D&D. But this time, it's not with everyone. This is our first Whispered Tale, or a little side quest, a little side session, if you will. Starring our very good friend, Anic. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Anic. I play Liv, who is an Aasimar Druid. I am Guy's twin sister, one of the other party members, and I really like to party.
Hell yeah, we all like to party here, folks. This, as I said, I am Alek. I'll be your DM, your Keeper Alek. And this is what we're going to do. This will be the first one, of course, but on kind of in between weeks or whenever we can, we're going to do a few little side stories that will enhance the campaign. I don't know when they're actually going to post yet. This may post a month from now. Who knows? It won't post until things revealed in this side story are more known to the rest of the party. If that makes sense. We're not going to spoil anything by posting it to people watching it. We don't want the rest of the party to know yet. So these are flesh out some of the backstories, flesh out some of the little kind of side things that each player has that maybe they don't want the rest of the party to know yet, because I can't make people leave the table if we're streaming live and I'm posting things on YouTube. So, all to be said, today's little side story, again, is, this one actually, you can kind of figure out when they are. They won't all be in chronological order, but this one will take place right after our last session, which was, I believe, 6 was our last session. Either 6 or 7. I think it was 6. Whichever one the jailbreak is. Anyway, point is, in that session, at the end of that session, before we took a long rest, Liv made a roll, a nature roll. And based on her roll, she now has something she needs to do. And we're going to roll that scene for her character. So, without further ado, let me read a little something here to introduce us, to get a little bit of lore here. And we'll roll into it. So, let me actually, hold on. What I did just didn't work, so let me do this. Put this here. Okay, cool. Okay, so. There are local tales whispered amongst the populace. And one of those tales goes like this. Have you ever heard the call of the Forest Mother? Sweet. Legend says that deep in the woods, in a clearing bathed in moonlight, lives the Forest Mother. Her abode cannot be found by looking, for never will it appear unless she so wishes. Only those she calls to may find her. Only those with the mother's touch may come home. She'll never appear while looking for her, but the trees carry words to her. Words spoken to the bark of a tree are quickly requited. For with a turn, her abode shall be standing before you, in a clearing, bathed in moonlight. Or so the legend goes. But is it just legend, or is it true? With that, let's return to our heroes as they are settling in for the night back at the menagerie. I've got to make sure that whenever I do this, I don't select everyone. I don't want anybody else to know what we're doing. All right. Let's roll back in. We're back at the menagerie. And you see here, you are in your room with your sister. You are both settling in for bed. I'll go ahead and stick you in bed. And Liv, you hear Mother's call. And it compels you to go home. I'd like you to make a stealth check to see if you can get out of this room without alerting your sister.
I don't know how that's going to go. And you had her do, is it like contested, or is it just against her perception?
I'm going to look at her passive perception because she is trying to sleep. So it'll be her passive perception.
Is this going to be public roll, or is this going to be a whispered roll?
If you don't mind,
because it'll be on the chat log.
Do all of your whispered rolls for this session. Since this is a whispered tale, whisper all of your rolls. Okay. So, you rolled a 2. Believe it or not, that is far lower than her passive perception. So there won't be any reaction right now, but she is aware of you sneaking out.
Okay.
So, you do sneak out, and you head out of the city proper, outside the city walls, and you head into the edge of the forest outside of Amber Hall. And let's move there now. As soon as I get this to load, go here, and we will go here.
Ooh.
So you find yourself on the edge of a clearing, bathed moonlight. What would you like to do?
Well, I suppose if I'm compelled, very strongly compelled, because I believe I rolled low enough that there was not a choice, I would just follow, like, whatever path leads me to her. Which, let's see. I guess that tree is over the river, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go that way.
If you want to just for giggles, make me a dex check to make sure that you walk across it, or acrobatics, either dex or acrobatics, whatever you want to do. You can do acrobatics. Or athletics, perhaps, one or the other.
Well, acrobatics is a dex check, but athletics, I at least have a +1.
Okay, we'll go with athletics then.
Okay.
If you walk across the log there.
Without falling?
Yeah, you're fine.
15. Okay.
It's not, like I said, there's plenty of moonlight. It's not that dark. And so you cross the little river here. And there's these little, like, lightning bugs. And it's just a very picturesque scene. As you approach this little bunch of trees here, what would you like to do?
Well, I see there's a path to the left. What, 2 paths across the clearing? I want to go over here to the left.
Okay.
This way. Is there a path off the screen here?
There's not.
There's not. Oh.
This is the screen.
Okay, so I'm just going around, you know, enjoying the quiet, being out of the city, preferably not dying, you know.
Right. That's a nice change
not watching
of
my
pace
sister nearly die.
From the last few encounters, if you will.
Yes.
And you feel in your essence that you are being called home. Not to Bridell, but to a different home.
So I guess I should have asked, is this something that I've had to do before? Like,
Yes.
I know that, like, I have gone and, you know, like, learned from her and everything, but has this, like, specific urge happened before?
I don't...
Or has it always been by choice?
I think it's been by choice because you were always home and it was a fairly regular thing to go do this. I think it's the first time that you are compelled to go do so because you've been off adventuring with friends.
Am I aware that this is what the compulsion is, that I'm going to see her, or am I just like, you know what I mean? Or am I just doing this and I'm like wondering why?
Let me see what to do for this. Give me a nature check.
Nature check? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got good nature, so.
14.
Okay. So this, I mean, this is a new experience, but it doesn't feel wrong. You just feel like you need to go see.
I just have the feeling, the
Forest Mother.
Okay, well, then I guess I'm gonna go off to the left. Is that a path there? This way?
Well,
or am I just here in this clearing?
The clearing. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, so I need to call to her, I guess. Let's see. What do I want to do? What do I want to say? I know what Anic would say, not what Liv would say. I think I would probably just like walk around because it is a new experience and just kind of go like, "Hello? Is anybody there?"
Well, and as this is a new calling, this is not a new time, I guess if we want to say summoning, but calling to the Forest Mother. So you would somewhat know kind of the procedure, if you want to say it that way, or I don't know if you would say ritual, but you would know kind of the cadence that you would need to do in order to call to her. And if you think about it, what we opened with, there's often truth to legends. They're usually seated in truth.
So do I need to speak to the tree?
Perhaps.
Or something? Okay, so then let's see, I'll walk over to this guy. This tree right here. I'll put my hand on it. And I'll just say, "Mother, I wish to come home."
And as you say that, you kind of blink, but it seems like a long blink. And as your eyes reopen, the scene around you, the coloration, the lightning bugs, everything seems a different shade of color. And as you know, she never appears before you, never where you're looking. But as you turn around, there stands her house. The Forest Mother.
Oh my god, this is so cool. Okay. So, I guess I'll walk around to the front, the door. This is neat, dude. I love this.
And she is expecting you, but as usual, she would like you to ask once more to enter her home.
Okay, so I'll do the same thing. I'll kind of just walk up next to the door, put my hand on the wall next to it, or on the door, and say, "Mother, Mother, may I come home? Or I wish to come home."
And as you say, "I wish to come home," you, again, seem to blink. A slow blink. And as your eyes reopen, you are home.
Okay.
And this
Oh, there's a
little
little kitty cat.
in this little room here with a nice warm crackling fire and chickens in the corner and just kind of a general natural feel to the room. Someone living a natural life. Across from the table, putting down her knitting, sits the Forest Mother.
Okay. Oops, I didn't mean to ping, sorry. I'm gonna walk over to her. So I just have this kind of idea that, you know, like with Liv and Di's parents, they've been keeping secrets this whole time. You know, trying to keep secrets and protect their family and protect their kids and everything. Um, but I like the idea of Liv not really like falling for it, not necessarily falling for it, but you know, feeling that there's a distance there. And then with the Forest Mother, who has been honest the whole time, you know, told Liv about the parents and everything. I think she would have like feel a kindred spirit in her and be like pretty close.
Certainly. She's certainly
So,
a surrogate maternal figure. Certainly.
yeah, for sure. So I would be very happy to see her, I believe, especially in light of everything that has happened since we left Brydell.
Right.
How many times we've been close to death and all the fighting and not
Numerous.
being able to just so much not being able to like just stop and take a breath. I would be very happy to see her. So I would probably just run up to her and, you know, say, "Mother, I missed you.
Ah, child.
Glad to be home."
I missed you as well. It's been some time since we've seen each other. Beginning to think you weren't going to come visit.
It's been hectic.
Ah. Yes, I can sense that. Well, come here. Give your mother a hug. She puts her grandmotherly arms out for you.
I'll reach in and I'll just cling on.
There, child. So, what troubles you? I can sense you are not at peace.
Well, for one thing, we still haven't found anything out about our parents. We asked a little bit. I had a vision. Oh, that happened. I had a vision
Oh.
of our parents outside of this orphanage. I forgot what it was called. The Daylight
Orphanage.
Yeah, that. And they were younger. They were much younger than they are now. So I asked about the Daylight Orphanage, and we haven't found anything yet. We haven't really had a whole lot of time. So haven't really gotten anywhere there. Also, funny thing, I transformed in
Oh, my
the
daughter,
last...
I am so proud of you. You're coming into your powers.
It was shocking.
Yes, the first time often is.
Also, I was transformed into like a panther, but it wasn't a normal panther. It was bony and a little grotesque. It wasn't normal.
That is interesting. You see, nature is neither good nor evil. It is what it is. And as you harness its power, it brings out what is inside you. It does not put anything on you. It doesn't wear a mask. It is purely what is within you.
Well, that's not very encouraging.
It's not necessarily a bad thing by any means, but this means you have turmoil within you.
Yeah.
And
a lot
all
of
those
that
things
going
that you
around.
hide come out in your wild shape. You can't hide from nature.
Like this, and I'll hold up my hands. And there's just like very faint, because it's early on, very faint, like black veins kind of moving up my hands. And right now they kind of just stop at my wrist.
This seems to not surprise her, but her eyes do widen a touch, and you do notice that.
Oh,
It's manifesting even when you're not in wild shape. That is interesting. You have some strong forces within you.
yeah. So, I don't know. I worry about taking things too far. Like, the more I learn, am I going to become this just evil being?
I believe that is up to you. For again, nature will let grow what is within you. And if it is weeds you have sown, you must first clear out your garden. And
I don't know.
these are things that you can learn to control, perhaps, as even roses have thorns. But that is entirely up to you and how you wield your powers.
Well, is there more that I can learn to help control it?
Certainly, certainly. There is always more to learn, my daughter. As I'm sure that is partially why you're here. I will always teach you all that I can. But there are some battles that I cannot fight for you.
I just want to protect Di and find out what's going on with our parents.
Yes. Yes, the spirits have blessed you with a vision, and though disturbing to say the least, I believe it shows a path. And I don't know where it leads, but it does lead somewhere. And there will be answers where it ends. Will it be dangerous? Very likely. There's a strong malevolence about all of this, as is evidenced by... She kind of looks at your hands again. There's more to your story, and I think your sister's as well. I'd very much like to meet her someday. I feel having the two of you together might answer some things.
Well, I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know if she would understand. I don't know if she would view me differently if she knew that I'd been keeping this a secret from her, or that I have changed at all.
Yes, it can be hard to watch a loved one change, or one whom you love keep secrets. But I feel that it still may be worth the pain to get to the bottom of this. In time. There's no rush, certainly, but I feel that it'll be hard for me to see more into your ailment, not having your sister to compare across. as you are twins and of almost opposite natures, there must be something there that fate has linked.
Well, I can certainly mention it to her, but I don't know now is the time.
I know. Again, it's no rush for me. I'm just saying that I will do all I can to help you, as you know, my daughter, but there's only so much I can see with half the picture.
Okay, well, if it comes to it, I'll ask. I'll let her know. But for now, is there anything that you can teach me or tell me to further aid in our search for our answers about our parents?
Well, it'll be hard for me to reveal more than the spirits have already done. I do believe that orphanage has answers. Do you...
Have you ever...
Sorry. Do you know anything about your grandparents?
My grandparents know. I
That's what
mean,
I thought.
our parents never really told us about them, ever.
Yes, as I expected. I believe that orphanage may have once been their home.
Like,
That's maybe
they
why
were
fate
both
has
in the
linked you back
orphanage?
to it.
Well, do you know where it is?
It is within Amber Hall somewhere. Of that I am certain, but I do not leave the forest. But there is a darkness that I can feel with that place. Just the name feels cold. Strange for something called daylight, but
Things are rarely what they seem.
you've learned well.
Taught me.
As I did. Suppose I can be a little prideful.
Well, I suppose as long as I can keep Di safe, and as long as nothing heinous happens, like what has happened recently, we should be. I should be able to call upon you, I suppose. Never.
Certainly.
Right?
Yes, you can always come home. I just am again mother of the forest and cannot stray into the city. But
Have you seen Alek recently?
I have not. He's traveling with you, is it not?
Yeah.
Yes, as you both left, I have not seen you either one until just now. Beginning to think you'd forgotten about poor old mother.
Never. I can never forget you.
But I see that you have become stronger already, so I see that the city is hardening you. Whether that's for better or worse, time will tell. That's, again, something you must decide.
Yeah, it's hard to remain optimistic and playful whatever else when you're constantly being either shot at or attacked.
That is the beauty of nature. Again, it is not good or bad, it is merely hungry. As long as you understand where you stand in its order, it can be a beautiful place. But there in those cities amongst those men and those other races and things, it is always some kind of agenda or evil in those places.
Yeah, I've met evil recently.
I'm sure you have. I can smell it on you.
Maybe I just need to bathe.
Also could be a wise choice. But I do think that it is where your destiny lies. Fate has bound you to your friends and bound you to the path you now walk. And though your fate is your own, always remember that the end may be set, but your journey there is not.
One day at a time.
Always. Always.
I think I would just reach in and give her another good squeeze.
Certainly. There, daughter. There are hard times ahead. I will not say things will be easier. But as long as you and your group stay together, I foresee you will make it through. I don't know if you all will, but I don't. And she kind of looks a little bit troubled. Having trouble seeing.
Having trouble.
I will ponder on this. It's nothing for you to be concerned with. I'm used to seeing storylines around me. Some of that of your group are still obscured. It's odd indeed. Fate has done some truly intriguing things with you and your friends. I'm very interested to see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
Not to lay all this on you, daughter. I'm sorry. It's not often such a rift comes along that makes ripples that I can see, or that block my vision.
Well, if anything, it'll be an interesting time for us in the future.
All of that, I would say so.
Well, see you.
Always, daughter, and you are always welcome home. You need only call, and I shall be there.
I don't have any other questions.
All right. Well, as you say your goodbye, she gives you a little basket with some food, as is her tradition. God forbid anyone go away hungry. And she looks at you and she says, "Fare you well, daughter, for I will see you again soon."
I'll see.
And as you seemingly, you blink and it again seems as a long blink. And again, you find yourself in a moonlit clearing. With soft lightning bugs flying around.
Can I tell what time of day it is? Like what time of night? Like, is it close to sunrise or is it still like middle of the night?
It oddly looking at give me either perception or nature, whatever you feel like doing.
Sure. Tired.
Nat 20. You look up at the sky and look at the surroundings, and no time has passed since you were standing here before you talked to Mother.
Okay, so it was like the middle of the night, like after everybody fell asleep.
Yes.
So I would like to just kind of sit here, middle of the clearing for a while, enjoying the peace and quiet, the serenity of being out under the night sky and away from the city, until such a time that I would need to return.
Okay. And as you sit there pondering and enjoying the night air, is there anything specifically that you're kind of meditating on?
Oh, for sure. I would really worried about, the appearance of the black veins on my hands and the feeling of transforming into this familiar but also unfamiliar creature, and whether or not I want to actually sort of embrace that power and take it and run, or step back from it because it's something that I don't really understand. Currently, I don't know, it's kind of back and forth. I think Liv would be very confused about whether or not the unknown path towards this power is better or worse than sticking with what I know, but also perhaps not being able to have the power to save my friends or save Di. It would just be back and forth all night.
I don't have it prepped currently, but as your bond with Mother has deepened, you will gain a new ability on your sheet from the Forest Mother.
Ooh.
So I'll have to think about what I'd like to do with that, but you will have one for next session.
Yes. Awesome. More secret abilities.
Hell yeah. All right, I think with that, we will wrap up and you'll return to your cozy bed in the menagerie. So.
I like to think that when I was leaving, because I rolled a 2, that like maybe Di was sleeping, like just peacefully, finally getting some rest after all the shit that we've been through. And then I like try to sneak out, and then my foot gets wrapped in the blanket, and I like tumble and hit the floor and take the blanket with me, and I just kind of freeze.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't hear anything, so I just take the blanket and I just gently put it back over her. That's how I like to imagine rolling a 2 on stealth. Trying to get out of the bed and out of the room quietly.
And I will say that she could tell that you left the room. She was somewhat tossing and turning herself, appearing to have potentially another more troubled dreams.
That's true. That's true, yeah.
And as you enter the room to come back in and try to sneak back into bed, she awakens from another nightmare. Again, I'll let her decide on if she's screaming or crying or what her reaction is, but she will awaken from the nightmare as you are walking in the room. That's where we will start with you two next session.
Oh no. That's the concept of this is so cool to me.
Yeah.
Because it's like everybody's gonna be like, what is happening?
Yeah. Well, it's, like I said, it's, I'm planning on doing, obviously, several of these, and, like, even jumping forward and backwards in time and doing some of these, and, like, try to interweave them into the campaign, and then just not posting them until it feels right, as far as it won't, like, spoil anything, you know?
Yeah.
People will watch it back and be like, what the fuck?
They'll be like, oh, so this is why this thing happened, or this is what's going on. Yeah.
But yeah, congratulations for being on the first Whispered Tale.
Cool.
Just, I know it's whatever. What's your Rose and Thorns of this little side story?
Oh gosh, okay. Roses would honestly be like just the scenery. Like, I like the maps. I think it's cool to have, you know, like being able to just be in the clearing and then you change the map and then all of a sudden there's like a chicken house there, you know? I like that a lot. Thorns would be, let's see. Kind of upset that Mother didn't know more about the Daylight Orphanage, like where it is. That would have been really helpful. Yeah,
well, there's still, that's a whole arc you guys got to do, and I mean, she wouldn't know.
Yeah.
She lives in a chicken house in the forest. How would she know where the orphanage is in the big city?
Yeah. But no, I mean, it was cool. I like this.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I had fun also. I'm excited to do more of these. I've got some really cool ideas and some stuff, so we will certainly see. There's some stuff where, like, some people in the party have, like, special items. I want to run some side stories that show, like, how that item came to be wherever they found it or bought it or, like, whatever. Like, it'd be really interesting to see, like, oh, wait, here's what the origin of your item is, kind of deal. So we'll see how that goes.
That would be cool.
Hey, thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. Comment down below what your favorite part was, and of course, if you want to see more, please subscribe. We post new videos daily. I stream weeknights on Twitch, 7 to 10 p.m. Central. I'm Alek the Lost Knight, by the way. Have a always live content shuffle. Check out the link below for that, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.